You are listening to the Cigar Noise Boys. You're motoring. What's your price for flight? In finding Mr. Right, you'll be all right tonight.
Motorrail?
Motorhead.
No,
Motorrail.
that's what everyone says. That's not. It's
Micro
you're
P?
motoring.
I
What?
literally have nothing.
Oh,
I know the song.
Sister Christian, Night Ranger.
That's what I said.
Sister Christian. Do, do, do.
You have the worst
never
taste
heard
in
that.
music and cigars I ever met in my life.
How you don't like? Oh,
That song
my
sucks.
goodness.
All of
You couldn't even find the song you liked.
it was
You don't know the
Eric
lyrics.
B and Rakim. Don't sweat the technique. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Something, 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 something. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. Yeah. So guys, it's I'm taking over because Dom sucks. Cigar Noise Boys. We got this is Tyler, back from the dead. We got Dominatrix, Dom, worthless fucker, and then we got Tronimal, aka Romatron, aka Tron, and then Alex.
Yo.
I should let you guys talk. And then we got LCC Alex.
What's up?
It's funny, these two fuckers are going to be taking over my position when I leave. It takes two guys to replace me. I mean, I'm that good. Two guys.
No, technically I'm your replacement. Alex is already working there.
Thank you very much, Tron.
But are you not taking some of my responsibilities, Alex?
A handful of them, since they've been lacking the last few months.
Yeah.
So is Tron gonna jump on Alex's back and do like the overcoat type of thing? Type
Oh,
of
the
deal?
two
To
people.
be as tall as you, Tyler? Yeah.
I'm not that tall.
Snow
You
White?
make it sound like I'm some kind of beast or something or a giant. I'm only 6'3".
Tron will have to grow his hair out, though, because that's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Dude, I already had that.
Oh yeah, Tron can grow his hair out pretty long.
It
He's
was
cut-
down on my shoulders at one point.
It was
I
down
can't
to
even
his,
imagine that.
It was down to his micropene.
I'm
You know what a
grower in
micropene
the
is, Dom?
Tyler, first of all, you've said that twice or three times now in the first 5 minutes.
So, quick story. There's a guy who came with me to Denver this time, and I would tell people about him. Like, hey, did you guys see my buddy? His name is Ryan. He's got a beard, sweaty, micropene. He wears he's got like receding hairline. You're like, what was that? I'm like, yeah, he's kind of sweaty all the time. He's got a beard. No, the other part. Oh, the receding hairline? So like, no, he said something about micropene. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got a micropene. So I would introduce him to everybody that way. And then so that's all I've been saying since I got back. It's been hell. I feel bad for people at my full-time job because I've been nonstop roasting them.
I feel like you came back with just this confidence, but it's bad confidence.
I hate you. That beard is bad.
You've been working out in a higher elevation. Now you feel like you can run past everybody.
Yeah, we have a special guest maybe coming on tonight, and he's going to do a little bit of scientific explaining about why stuff tastes different in Denver. So be on the lookout for that.
Is
I'm
he
not
taking
telling
over
you-
Tron's segment?
No, that's Tron's segment is an abomination.
I
This
can attest
segment-
to that, though.
Yeah, the segment we have coming on is going to be an educational forum, and let's just say
It's
he's
not Skip, is it?
no Skip rather be dead than be on a podcast with Dom and you two. I mean, come on, I'm
Well, you're Bebe Grande.
El Baby Grande. I got to get my room ready in Managua. Oh, all right. Where are all you chooches smoking?
All right, I'll go first then. Fuente Don Carlos the Man from the original release.
When was the
Nice.
original release?
2018?
Okay.
Let me look. Yep, September 2018. Came with the humidor and all
Are you
that.
asking him or testing him?
I'm not. I give Alex. I'm not afraid to. When someone knows more about stuff that Alex knows way more about Davidoff and Fuente than I know, and I'm fine with that. because I can blow them away and all the other. No, I'm just kidding. I'm fine. I do need to learn more about Fuente.
Do you hear yourself, man?
What's up?
You're off the wall today.
Yeah, I'm smoking Paulstania. Tron, am I saying that wrong?
No, you're saying that right.
Paulstania broadleaf. I'm not a torpedo guy, but this was in the Cigar for Warriors humidor. So I got to replace it with 5 more cigars. This is too much Manbacco and testosterone for the soldiers over there in Iraq. We do appreciate you. Uh-oh, who is this? Pete Johnson of no. Stranger, are you there? Blink twice.
Wah wah.
All right, we got Christopher Brown in the house. He's going to talk to us about altitude in a few minutes once we're done with our introductions here. Dom, what are you smoking? A tree trunk?
No. 4 Kicks, Capa Especial. I thought you said you wanted to try a tree trunks.
I do.
Tree trunk.
You were sending me one, I thought.
Yeah, I'm going to after I get the Napa City blend.
I'm not buying any more cigars. I'm just going to have people send me them from now on.
Obviously.
Clearly. We'll get to that.
Oh, God.
And then I am smoking a Roma Craft Neanderthal HN.
Nice.
Tron,
Yes.
do you prefer the HN or the LH?
Both of them are good in their distinctive ways, or respective ways, however you want to phrase it.
Okay, how close is Oveja Negra climbing up the pole to Roma Craft? Is it 1A, 1B, or is it 1 and then like 2? Like, are those your 2 top brands now?
Yeah, that's my core 2.
Core 2.
Oveja Negra is a brand?
Yeah, that's Chris.
Yeah.
Teach Dom some.
No, it's a factory, isn't it?
It is a factory, but it's also the Oveja Negra Brands is the name of their company that everything's under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris,
Nice.
if you ever start a podcast, make sure the guy you're with knows something about cigars. And then,
I'm learning.
How long have we been doing
Teach me,
this?
Tyler. That's the whole thing.
Tyler,
you teach the teacher.
You're too rough on Dom.
Oh, see, and Chris
Wow.
listens to all of them. So you think I am too rough on him?
Sometimes, no.
All right. You should see what he texted me. It's very like passive aggressive stuff. So he fires me up before I even get here.
That makes sense that you have some like pent up aggression towards him before the podcast even starts.
Bro,
That's
who makes
everybody.
20 Facebook status updates in one day? What are you doing?
A 15-year-old high schooler.
Yeah.
No, they're on a MeWe or Snatch chat.
Snatch. No, it's TikTok, Tyler.
Tiki-taki.
I'm
TikTok's
shocked
a new
you're not on TikTok yet.
I've been doing some of the dances they do. The backpack dance. What is that one called? I don't know.
The flossing.
Oh,
It's all
how
over
does he
my
know
head.
that?
Of course, Tron knows.
We gotta Tron. We don't have room for 5 people. Chris, I know we wanted to. Yeah, I know we wanted to talk about this in more detail later, but you sent me an interesting BuzzFeed article, so you know it's going to be 100% accurate. Can you explain that article in 30 minutes or less?
That screenshot I sent you earlier? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't BuzzFeed. It was some other clickbait, BS site, like scrolling through Facebook. But it was something about like all this stuff that you would never know about. People like questions people were asking about commercial airlines and stuff. And towards the very end, I almost gave up on it a couple times, but I kept going. Got like down to the very bottom of the list. I was looking at this for like 30 minutes.
Persevered.
Yeah, exactly. One of the questions was people had asked somebody with an airline, like, why do the meals taste so bad? And they said they actually don't. If you were at ground level eating this, it would taste better, basically. But it has something to do with elevation and air pressure. So, I mean, they said elevation, but, more like towards like a layman, but that's definitely air pressure. And we had this discussion, a couple weeks ago, just about people saying that you were upset that cigars taste so horrible when you're in Denver working out there. And people would always say, well, it's because it's so dry. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case. I've spent plenty of time in Phoenix. One of my best friends lives there, and it's drier than anywhere in Colorado that I know of. And I never had any issues with cigars. So I'm like, it must be the elevation. Like I have not spent a lot of time in any of the Rocky Mountain states. So, I don't ever recall that, but I know so many people have talked about it that it was like, that's what it has to be. And, I do, like everyone, you guys all familiar with like shit palate. Like you have a day where just every cigar you smoke, even if it's your regular stuff, just tastes horrible for some reason. So in all my years of smoking, I kind of thought, I'm like, there's got to be an explanation for that. Like it's not just like, because it could have been the day before I smoked 2 cigars and they were not palate scorchers, and like, or it was the day when I smoked 7 cigars, then that would make sense, but it wasn't always the case. So, I kind of was like, I wonder if it has something to do with air pressure, because I noticed on days that in Pittsburgh here, there'd be like a storm coming in and like the air pressure changes and it's, the sky gets kind of gray and, or the humidity starts to rise, like all this other stuff. And I'm like, I bet it has something to do with that. And that is literally the extent of how much I've thought about it. So I'd love to talk to someone, with more of a scientific background that could explain that, how it affects the human sense of taste and olfactory sense and stuff. So
sorry, go ahead, Alex. Oh, it wasn't Alex. It was Tyler. Then I'll talk. If I eat spinach cooked with cheese, my teeth feel like rubber and I can't taste anything the rest of the day. It's a real thing. There's a name for it. Go ahead, Tyler.
Dom, if you went camping and you woke up with a sore rear end, would you tell anybody? Dom,
I'm looking something up. I'm muted.
Would you tell anybody?
What's that kind of question?
Would you tell anybody?
Am I sitting on a rock funny?
Yes
or
or
be
no?
Explicit.
Yes or no? Would you tell anybody?
It wouldn't happen. Hypothetical.
Right. You want to go camping?
It's a logical fallacy.
Oh, I hate you.
If it happens, I'll let you know.
Yeah, so fucking that's the only thing I don't like about Denver, besides it being fucking huge, is the cigars taste like you're sick or like this flat. So it's very frustrating.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when with this stuff is like it's just things are just off. Like everything's like muted and just not correct. And like I said, I notice it here on days when it's like either there's a storm happening or about to happen, like on the tail end of the storm or like on a sunny day when the humidity drops and the air pressure goes back to normal, like it doesn't, everything's fine, but very strange.
And another thing too, like with Denver, I mean, for me, it takes me obviously with the elevation, it takes me a few days for my body to get adjusted to the thinner air. And then, nothing tastes like, I think about it too. Like when you're on the airplane, stuff tastes different too. It's so fucking weird how, and that I've had like big heated debates with Eric and Jordan. They kept calling me Steve Saka because Saka comes to Denver and bitches about his palate and how stuff doesn't taste good. And so I know I was talking to Jonathan Drew, Alex, and
there it is.
he wanted me to do a little experiment, but I didn't have time to go to a local B&M and try it out. Nick, we should ask Nick when we get him on again about it, because he used to have a place in Boulder, I believe. So he spent quite a bit of time in Colorado. So, but the same thing, Chris. I was thinking, I'm like, I spent a week in Phoenix. Vegas stuff tastes different, but I think that's because of the trade show samples are different than regular production stuff from certain companies, I will say.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's
they're almost like super duper dry boxed or something. Not saying they're dried out and ruined, but like just that that severe change of humidity, like definitely
Yeah,
something.
it reminds me of almost of the movie with The Interview, when they went to Korea and they had that grocery store, and they're like, oh look, there's all these groceries in there, and then you look in there and they have one row of groceries and everything behind it is like there's nothing in there. So it's kind of like,
right,
these cigars are almost just display cigars, but here, have a sample. And because the thing is, no one's smoking a cigar and say, that's fucking, let me get 20 boxes. When you're ordering shit, because I've ordered through you order stuff based on get a couple boxes of what's new and then get the proven shit. It's not like you're, these people that need to try try everything before they bring it in. Just fucking bring it in. Like, what's the point? You buy 2 boxes. If you can't sell 2 boxes to your customers, maybe you shouldn't have a fucking brick and mortar, in my opinion.
That's pretty accurate.
All right, Dom,
Next
topic
trade-
number 1.
Next trade show, I'm going to review everything I smoke right there on the floor
We should
in
do
one
that.
day.
Back to back.
Yeah.
One sitting.
1 puff.
Hey, speaking of one puff, did you put JP up to the prank call?
He called you?
Do you know anything about this?
I swear to God, I know nothing.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
What happened?
Dude, I was just zapped. My brain was mush after I finished all my grading yesterday, and I just came outside, and I got a call from an unknown number. It's like, oh, hi, this is Steve from Cigar Aficionado. We really like what you're doing with like the poetry, and we want to see if we can do something with you. And I was just completely caught off guard. And then he said something about One Puff Tyler, and I was like, because that's not your handle now. You haven't had that in a while. I was like, how is he referencing this? And I stayed on the whole call. I was trying to think what JP's name was.
JP.
Yeah, thanks. But I felt embarrassed. I thought
You
maybe
didn't recognize his voice.
it sounded like him. I didn't hear any A's, but
I mean, he has a
telling-
Canadian accent, so it should be pretty obvious.
So we're going to be featured in Cigar Aficionado for up-and-coming podcasts?
I was trying to, dude, I couldn't because I had just read the latest issue that day, so I was trying to think, well, how do they know my number? It was bad. I hope he doesn't air it, because there was silence for like half of it.
Oh, that sounds... You blew our shot to get in CA. They probably wanted us to pay $20,000 for an ad for the online site or some shit.
Well, yeah, that's the other half. If it wasn't a prank call, then I'm sorry. I know his name's Steve.
Well, we had you had an email with somebody who wanted us to sponsor it, and that turned out to be that was probably JP too.
Sending the bots our way.
Yeah. All right. Topic number whatever. Go, Dom. You have plenty of stuff you were saying.
Yeah, Tron, what's the deal with your hashtag cigar simp? I saw you hashtag this, and I have no clue why you're doing this.
Tyler actually told me to do it.
What, you're gonna squeal on me like that? Don't commit a crime with Tron.
It's not a positive thing, right?
Basically, in my terms, what a cigar simp is, they'll do anything to get what they like, basically.
And if
That makes sense.
if that includes reach arounds, mouth
Does
hugs.
it include paying like 50% over MSRP on like Facebook sales groups for something
Actually,
that came out like 6 months ago?
Yeah, I don't do that, but to a certain extent, I'll do whatever.
So is it just synonymous with weasel? What's the difference?
No,
Tyler, Tron, explain the nuances.
Well, simp is basically a regular simp is basically somebody who does a lot of nice things for a female that will never sleep with them. So
I mean, if that's the case, I've accidentally been a simp a couple of times.
Oh, I mean, I think we've all been guilty of that. Definitely. Oh, you laughed at my joke? Here, let me go buy you a car. No. So basically,
Not
I just yeah, I don't know where I came up with cigar simp, but it basically it's like being a weasel, but more depressing, I would say. It's funny because like I'll be like at the airport, like I was in Denver and I had my headphones in and people are asking me what the weasel means, and they always think about Pauly Shore, like the weasel. I never even seen that movie, and I explained to them how everybody wants a fucking free cigar, and the whole like I still think it's fucking funny when Skip started that Weasel Team 6 group, that little introduction he did. He's like, y'all have been invited to a group where none of you have any talent or skills to bring to the table to be in this group, but you were invited anyways. So,
Speaking of weasels, are you guys going to Weasel Fest? If it
That's a
happens,
plan.
I got my first step of my vaccine. Alex is all vaccinated.
I get mine.
I got my first
get off
lined up
work.
for tomorrow.
Nice. It's quick and easy, man.
I got it.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it just because of work stuff, but if I can, if work is cool with it, then I will be there. But I'm not sure how it's going to work out just yet. But
Yeah, it was.
if Skip is listening, I'm trying, my buddy.
I got mine under the bridge. I saw a bunch of people there passing around a needle, so that's where I got my test at. Was under the bridge,
Wonderful.
home bridge
You
in
have
Milwaukee.
Sharing is caring.
Mm-hmm.
That's in May, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I didn't know Walgreens has their own Band-Aids. That's pretty... Dude, I look fucking ripped. Look at that. Ooh. That's offloading 400 bags at one time. So Denver, man, they're offering 2 months to go back.
Have you ever lived in a hotel for 2 months before?
I've done 2.5 weeks. I've done 3 weeks. I wish I didn't come back because you get like settled in, but like I have to let them know by Friday if I want to go.
What months?
2 months is rough in a hotel, but
Yeah, it's you know they put you in like a kitchenette and then you get a per diem and shit, and then you can work a ton of overtime because my plan is to buy a nice size house in Austin so I can have people visit me.
you need like $400,000 just to even start looking.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm going to be looking. Here's the thing. I know Mike and Skip do have a lot of real estate in Austin, so Mike's going to help me find a joint. But I kind of got to like pick an area like that is probably closer to Skip's house than headquarters, because I usually hang out at Skip's place more than I do at headquarters, especially if I'm going to be working there.
Yeah.
I mean, working at the airport.
But you're also going to be working at the airport, right?
Yeah, I'll be working full time at the airport, and then probably, basically, whenever they get, I don't know how much I talked about this, but basically just when they get big shipments in, which I kind of did in December, I helped with that, and it was funny. Skip's like, "Oh, it's a lot of work." I'm like, "Dude, I offload 200 bags off of a 737-800. You know, it's like I think I can." And then the thing is, they work at it like a much slower pace. No offense, John. But I'm used to like getting the shit off really quick and then getting the shit back on, pushing it out and getting another one. This is you're pulling shit, you're getting the boxes ready, you're smoking a cigar. Oh, look at that, it's lunchtime. Oh, what do we got? We got barbecue, we got tacos, you know. I don't want to gain back the weight I lost because being with Skip, man, he orders a shitload of food. I'm like, dude, it's just the three of us. And Arlen and Fiorello don't eat much at all. So, and Skip actually doesn't eat that much. It's not like I ate way more than him when I was at my heaviest. Like Skip doesn't eat that much. I don't know. Maybe he has slow metabolism. But yeah. Dom. Oh wait, go on, Alex.
I was gonna say, is this why you haven't given back my travel humidor yet? Waiting to hold on to the hard case.
It's in my car. But here's
What happened to your S&S humidor? Your travel case from St. Vincent?
I have that too, and I have
that at home too.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, last time I was in Denver, I didn't have time to smoke. Only time I really smoked was at Cigar Dojo. And then so I didn't bring much cigars, but the first 2 weeks there was a lot more downtime because we had we went up to like 220 flights during Christmas and the first week of January. Then we dropped from 220 down to 160, and then we ramped back up for spring break. So I had only 1 week of the 220 flights and then 2 weeks of 160 flights. So I had a lot of downtime. So I only brought I mean a lot of downtime at work. We don't have Denver's different. They don't have a whole break room dedicated to a war zone like we do in Milwaukee. But so I was in a pinch, and I tagged some brothers of the Leaf, Tron, Shane, and Alex. I know Dom didn't have any cigars to send, so I didn't ask him.
It's a smart call.
Alex went a little overboard. I owe Alex a lot. But I did give Alex a 5-pack of Little Boris last time it was over, so he can do for future housework. So I have a little bit of equity, but not much, because he sent me a shitload of cigars.
Well, and the Black Label hat.
Oh yeah, I gotta get the Black Label hat.
You mean the Oveja Negra hat?
Oh my god. Yes.
See how that can be confusing? It's not just me, right?
Well, it's the same.
Tron's just shaking his head.
Has everybody here smoked a hyena?
Yes.
I have not yet.
Yeah.
I have some, but I haven't smoked any yet.
How many do you have, Chris?
I got 10 of the Coronas and 5 of the Lonsdales.
Okay. What do you guys think?
I just snagged them from Small Batch. I saw them on there one night and just grabbed them real quick.
I bought real quick. We're gonna go back to the hyena, but I bought a 6-pack sampler of the Salone cigars. You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, how are those?
Pretty solid. I had the Connecticut. I have a 1 puff review coming up. I did the Connecticut, and then I did the broadleaf, and then I did I ordered 8 of the street tacos from Rojas. They only had the Toros, which I'm going to give to some to Tron, some to Alex, some to Shane for sending me shit. And then I got a sampling of the Casa Cuevas stuff, because I haven't had any of that shit. So, have you had any of that, Chris?
I have some of the street tacos. I haven't tried one yet. But Noel's stuff is always spot on usually. I mean, I think he's made maybe 2 cigars that I didn't like. But the Casa Cuevas, I'm not a huge Dominican smoker, but I did enjoy the La Mandaria. I think it was the LE from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I got one of those, like the Hammer, because somebody broke into their headquarters in Florida and stole all their cigars, and they used a sledgehammer to break through there.
Yep.
Fucking everybody's stealing cigars. Okay, Tron, Alex, what do you guys think of the hyena?
It's definitely in my top 3 Cameroons.
Top 3?
Yeah.
All right, let me guess. The
in no
Benji,
particular order. Huh?
Benji Menendez, Cameroon, La Aurora, Cameroon, and Hemingway.
Yes.
Perdomo?
Perdomo.
Oh, they used to make a Cameroon. Yeah, so you got Baka, Hyena, and Swarm.
Yep.
All right, that's too easy.
Okay, top 4, you could throw in the Aladino Cameroon too.
That's just what I was gonna say.
Honduran Cameroon.
Did you guys smoke? Anyone smoke the Warzone? The Espinosa Cameroon from a couple years ago. Yeah,
that's a good Cameroon.
Yeah. I'm sort of a Espinosa fanboy, but I really enjoyed the shorter Churchill that just came out.
Oh, who didn't like? Developing Palates ripped it apart, but I don't think they like any cigars.
Every single time they review something, it's just this is an average, below subpar.
Yeah.
They cut down some Illusione stuff in the last few months, which they usually give those really high marks. But
yeah, that I'm still undecided on that PCA.
Yeah.
I like it still. I think it's a good cigar.
Well, fucking buy a bundle. We got 10 bundles left.
I think I bought almost a full bundle already.
I bought in 2 bundles. I gotta buy a third probably. But I still think Dion should throw a fucking UFO on that. He should have put a different band on there, not the Cigar Privy band.
Yeah, Privé. Well, that band is what he always used for like single store releases, like 10 years ago. But then he came out with the actual Cigars Privé line, which there's like 2 different wrappers and like 3 Batolas of each side, each one.
And then they have the box press ones.
Yeah, and after that, everything just went out the window. Like he uses that band for anything that's not in one of the other lines.
Alex, what do you think of the Hyena?
I liked it. I think the Baca was a little better. It's up there with Baca though, and I really liked the Aladino just because it was that Honduran. It just tastes a little different, which I did not mind. Yeah, good cigar though. I'll definitely get some more of them. Any company that makes a Lonsdale makes me happy.
Agreed.
So for me, the Hyena, it was good. I still think it is a step below the Swarm, and I still think it's. And I'm not sure. I am biased, but not that. I think the Baca is still 4 or 5 notches. I still think. I mean, that's just my profile. It's a Nicaraguan spin on a Cameroon wrapper, in my opinion. I don't know. I really like the Baca. I'm glad. I'm curious to see how it aged. I have a box of Pygmy from the original release. I got it small batch because Tron bought all the ones at our shop, and I couldn't get any, so I had to order from small batch. All right, Dom. Topic number 8.
You guys remember Abercrombie models?
Yeah, Zac Efron.
Yeah, no,
You
just
were
weird.
one of them.
No, just that used to be a thing. It's just weird to think about.
That might be after my time. I might be a little older.
Yeah,
Too old for that one.
On Facebook, I see some people posting in the Weasel group, and they have a label visual storyteller. Does that just mean they take pictures with their phone? I don't understand that.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys visual storytellers?
I don't post much on Facebook.
Okay. Well, should have checked.
Same.
To see if that applied to you guys.
I only
before.
post really in our LCC Revival Facebook group. That's about it.
Yep. I don't have it prepared, but Tyler, remember we did kind of like Mad Libs a few times?
Yeah, you didn't know what it meant.
I know what it means. So what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to pull up an Ezra Zion email, and that'll be my template. And I'll just pull out some words here and there.
That's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
That's a work in progress. Tyler, you had an idea for a segment that we never did.
Oh, was the one I texted you a while back? You had no response to it?
I don't think so.
Oh, what's the topic? When was the last time you did this?
Yeah, when was the last time you smoked a Christoph? Or you just pick like a random brand or something like that?
When was the last
Yeah.
time you smoked a Christoph? Anybody? Can you remember?
I had a Christoph Firecracker about 2 months ago, man.
How was it? The pissed off Christoph?
Yeah. It was, I like that blend. It was tasty, but it was over before. It was over too quick, as with all the firecrackers. But
Okay. Alex?
Tron?
I think I smoked a Christoph last when Kevin became the rep for them. Our area rep, Kevin Hatchie. He was a member and a regular at our shop. And so that's probably been at least 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, I think he's been a rep them for about 3 years.
Yeah, maybe it's only been that.
Tron's dad used to be a big Christoph guy. Is he still into the Christophs?
He kind of moved away from Christophs a little bit, smoking a little bit more boutique-y type of stuff. So,
When was the last time you had a Christoph?
about this time last year.
You know what it was?
I think it was the GC Select. I want to say Robusto.
Dom?
Oh, 2 years ago it was a pissed off.
Yeah, I had the pissed off firecracker. I think on July 4th, I might have had that. That's just, I mean, pissed off. Here's the thing. I think they make some pretty good stuff. Like they have an actual Cameroon, they say. The pissed off is solid. I thought the Vengeance was good. Some people like Coop had it like number 2 or 3. Bear had it as his number 1 cigar of the year.
Is that the broadleaf, the Connecticut broadleaf?
Yeah, but
yeah.
In my one puff review of the broadleaf I did from Stallone, I still kind of said the same thing. I'm like, you really can't fuck up a broadleaf unless you try to fuck it up, you know, because it's such a great fucking wrapper.
Did it specify which broadleaf it was? Like if it was Connecticut or Pennsylvania or somewhere else?
I'm pretty sure it's Connecticut. The Bones came out and said it was a U.S. broadleaf, so they're really leaving it ambiguous for you.
Yeah, and I've heard some people say, well, that's because half of it grows in Massachusetts. But like, you know, if you've ever listened to Nick Melillo, like, you know, like yeah, half of the Connecticut River Valley is actually in Massachusetts, but that still counts as Connecticut broadleaf. You know, like they could be growing it in Tennessee or someplace. You know?
Yeah. I got a little bit of an explanation about why my cigar was fucked up that I blended. Apparently, I wrote this down. So when I changed the wrapper from San Andreas to Connecticut broadleaf on the Viso Horny, I told Anthony Esteban's son, I said, you know, Connecticut broadleaf, and he put Connecticut. So Skip told me that it's like broleaf, BROLIF is broadleaf, like in Spanish, and CONERICO is Connecticut. So I'm like, well, I didn't put either of those, so why would they think? You know, I said Connecticut and Anthony knows really good. He doesn't think he knows good English. He knows really good English. So
yeah, he's. I remember him speaking English well when I was down there.
Yeah, so I'm willing to take this one. I'll take this one on the chin. I don't want Anthony to get injured. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know why he wouldn't just confirm it before you. And this is like, it was funny. I'm like, I think I said this on a podcast. I asked Skip, "Oh, is that why you're in Nicaragua?" He's like, "Yep." I mean, but in the Heckle and Jekyll podcast with Jack Tarano and Hector Alfonso, they I asked that about the Viso Horny, and Skip said, well, Tyler's a master blender, but he doesn't know the difference between broadleaf and Connecticut shade. I'm like, oh, great, here we go. Yeah, so I think Skip, and then here's the thing too, is Skip keeps telling me like, oh, it's called Viso Horny, shouldn't it all be Viso? Well, first of all, he's the one who came up with Viso Horny. I just blended it as based on the individual components I smoked. I didn't, you know, because there's kind of like a formula of how you blend a cigar. It's like there's different, like, you know, you can pick, you know, you got 4 fillers, binder, wrapper, and then you pick like 2 Ligeros, a Seiko, a Viso, or 3 Visos, 1 Seiko. It's kind of like you plug it in like in a fucking equation, like a algorithm. Is what kind of Skip showed me. And I know like some people, they'll blend it like 25% this, 25% that, you know, like kind of easy, 50% this, you know, it's kind of interesting
to remember the name.
Sure. Is that fucking, who is that? The guy from Lincoln Park?
I don't know his name.
Oh, anyways. Yeah. So I asked Skip Hubbles tasted that full body blend with the Connecticut wrapper. He said the small Vitola was good. The rest of them were unsmokable. I'm like, I'll be the judge of that, motherfucker. Bring him to Austin. I'll smoke him up. And I'm sure Dom and Alex.
Are they going to remake them with the Connecticut brothers?
Yeah, Skip said he took care of that. But I don't know if he switched everything to Viso though, because I was kind of telling him, I'm like, well, because I didn't have he's the one. Here's the thing: if I'm doing something with Skip and I'm not like paying for anything, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do with it, because it's not like I'm a customer. Like it's just a hobby or something. So if he wants to, if he gets excited about it and wants to do it, I'm happy. I'm on board. Like he picked the Vitolas. Like I would have went a little different route, but he picked the 4 Vitolas, and they only made 3. So, but Anthony kept asking me when I'm coming down to Nicaragua to pick up the samples. I'm like, well, Skip will be down there. He can send them with the Segundos back up to Austin. So, who knows? I'm just afraid to overstep my my boundaries here, especially on something I'm not paying for.
How many is he making?
It was just a bundle of each size.
Oh.
So, and then
Gotcha.
I wrote this fucking funny ass press release, and I asked Skip if I can post it. He's like, "Dude, we haven't even finalized it yet." I'm like, "Well, we're not really finalizing anything. It's kind of this whole Viso Horny thing's kind of like a joke, but it's actually a good cigar. It was a really good cigar, which is the San Andreas. Like Skip was surprised how much he liked it in Austin. He's like, I'm not getting the sweetness from the Maduro, so we should switch to wrapper. So
You got to do bands.
yeah, I thought about that. I told Skip I wanted a tobacco leaf with a leaf boner, and he said, please delete me off Facebook. So,
I'm sure it can be
all
done
right.
in like a tasteful way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a full hard on. It could be like a half chub,
That's not what I mean. It can be like you don't see it at first, but if you really look hard, you can see it.
Yeah, not too hard though. I don't want it. Have you guys tried the Viaje Circa 45 Reserva?
Is that the newest one with the San Andreas wrapper?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I've tried every size of it at this point.
What do you think?
So, I basically know which factory it comes out of, but I don't want to say it on here and insult anybody. But only one of the 4 smoked okay, and it wasn't great. But the other 3 all had construction issues, like where one of them was like unsmokable. The Churchill size, that edition limitada.
Oh, and they're expensive.
So, yeah, expensive, and they I dry boxed them, like like one of them, that Churchill, I cut it, cold drawed, realized it was like impossible to smoke, and then I just left it on my table in my smoking room for like 2 weeks, and then I just smoked it a couple nights ago, and it had dried out a little bit more, but not enough to remedy the issue with it. So
speaking of palate scorchers, that one was a palate scorcher. Like that wrecked me.
yes, yeah, that's I think it's the San Andreas wrapper.
It's overwhelming on that blend.
Yep.
But that's
I
another
agree.
thing I tell people with Viaje, let it sit for a while. I mean, try it now. It's just so hard to know what's going to be good and what's not. And I feel like 2020, he started off strong, and then it's kind of like went down a little bit. But then again, he probably hasn't been to Nicaragua in probably a year and a half,
Right. Yeah. Everyone is just flying blind over the last year. Like they're hoping the factory gets it right and sends them the right stuff.
Yeah, that's why I think brands like Tatuaje, with brands that are using like Noxa, brands that are using Skip, Oveja Negra, like those cats who are down there, like Skip's down there. James and Angelo have been down there the whole fucking time. Pete went down there, but I mean, also Pete is fucking in the family, so the stuff from Pepin's going to be in that. I thought Tatuaje was probably the hottest fucking brand of 2020, man. I mean, I feel like I feel like I wasn't let down by anything. I was kind of hoping a little bit. I got to go back and try the MBS again, the Kruger, but everything else, man, it was really fucking good. I thought he had a great year.
Yeah, I expected to see more broadleaf. I mean, there was a shortage for a couple of years, but he posted something like a year ago saying like we just acquired like 77,000 pounds of broadleaf or something like that. Or Jaime was checking it out, or he was at Lancaster Leaf or someplace like bidding on it, or there was some post like a year ago.
Yeah.
About that. So like I'm like we're a year. That was a year ago. Like we should be swimming in broadleaf Tatuaje cigars at this point.
Yeah, and he
But
showed me
not a whole lot.
all the Palones with broadleaf in there. at the Pepin's factory. So I think
I know they ferment it slower, so it could be that it's still in the in the production. But I don't.
Yeah, something that heavy would probably take a year to ferment, if I'm remembering shit correctly. Especially the thicker, heavier, higher priming, that'll take a fucking year.
Yep.
I think.
I did see some broadleaf collection stuff coming in stock in a few places, like online.
Oh yeah, we've had
yeah,
we've had all the broadleaf stuff. I think he said he's coming out with the Cojete broadleaf, right?
Next year, yeah, next January.
Yeah.
Tyler? Did you order any of the NHC lawn sales?
No, we're getting a few
Moscow
boxes. We're getting a few boxes at the shop.
Nice.
Which I'm not telling anybody because I want a box of them. I was able to.
You're broadcasting, bro.
No, we're not broadcasting on Facebook, and the customers at LCC, I doubt listen to this. So.
Well, as of right now, I'm a customer of LCC.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So you want a box? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Exactly. What wrapper is on that? Is that Sumatra?
Sumatra. Yeah, it looks almost identical in shade to the Little Boris. So it's not as dark as like the CQ2 or any of the real dark Sumatra stuff, but it looks good. I'm gonna smoke my first one tomorrow.
Are they 20 count boxes?
Yeah.
The boxes look fucking huge. I thought they're like 50 counts, but then
it's a tiny little box.
It looked
they're
huge.
Like 43 ring gauge box press.
Nice. Yeah, they look pretty cute. Dan gave me one when he came to our event last March. Yeah, he brought me one, and then here's the thing about Dan. I fucking love Dan, but like I remember I gave Dan a CQ2 or a Little Boris, and he was happy as fuck to get one. Like he smoked it right there. I remember we had Saka in for an event, and I'm like, "Oh, here, you want a firecracker?" He's like, "Oh, I can get these anytime I want." I'm like, "Okay, well, I thought maybe you just want to smoke one now. Sorry, I'll take it back then." But Dan was like, "Oh yeah, I'll smoke that shit." Oh, last question about that. The 50-year Pete birthday, are those technically wet packed? Or what's the deal?
I don't know, actually. That would be that's a Pete question. Because you can usually tell the wet packs because of the foil. Like when you open the box, they'll have that silver or that gold embossed foil.
They're foiled. I know that. I know, like when Tommy Farrell from Nickel City, shout out Tommy, great dude. Pete had commented. He's like, "Oh, I'm surprised you didn't stash a few of those away, and let him what was the word he used? Congeal together, or whatever the fuck he said, meld together." Yeah. So
stew.
Yeah, stew. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Is letting I got the J21 and the Regios, letting those maybe open them up on my 50th birthday.
Nice.
You guys remember when Mombacho switched that new media company for the marketing?
Yeah.
Because they just got back on to like a bunch of photos, and I checked. This marketing company only has 92 followers on Instagram.
Oh my God.
I just thought that was interesting.
That company is very interesting. I think they're focusing 100% on Europe now.
Yeah, Europe. And one of the partners is Canadian guy. I met him. He's a friend of Jim Robinson's, and I met him the last day of the trade show 2 years ago. We were hanging out at the bar at the hotel, and very nice guy. I can't remember his name, but seemed very cool.
Yeah, I think Jim was distributing Mombacho for a hot minute after Romacraft. Yeah, Romacraft was distributing them for a minute, and then Island Jim was gonna distribute him. I don't know if he ended up doing it.
Yeah. Here's an interesting fact. Did you know that Aganorsa Leaf actually owns the trademark to the name Mombacho for a cigar?
Yeah, they've been fighting about that for a while.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised there's never been like a resolution to it. Like you know, you'd think you'd see like an article on Half Wheel, like, oh, they settled this dispute. You know, they're going to let them use it, but they're for an undisclosed amount of money or something like that. But just never hear anything about it.
Yeah, Tatuaje and Aganorsa are two companies I would never want to infringe on their
But there was just
trademarks.
today. I was at the Giant Monster, Green Monster. It was United.
Green Monster.
Yeah, United did it with.
Asylum, CLE.
Thank you. Yes, and they just canceled that. They or Half Wheel said is probably or could be Tatuaje because of the Monster series,
Right.
but it's undisclosed.
That's exactly what I told Chris
He brought it up.
when I saw it. But you know, Eduardo's got so much fucking money. That's the last person I want to take to court. Is Eduardo?
Yeah.
Fucking.
He seems like a reasonable man. Like he would work something out with you if your business depended on it. You know what I mean?
I
Like
agree
none of
with
these
that.
are
Yeah.
bad dudes. Like they're all
Totally,
good guys.
yeah.
They just, I think if you have intellectual property, you have to defend it. Like it's nothing personal, but you have to maintain ownership of it. It's valuable.
Yeah. Have any of you guys smoked the new firecracker, the Irish car bomb?
Not yet.
Nope, not yet. I got one from Tron, but haven't been able to have it yet.
Chris?
I haven't. I'll probably end up skipping that one. Just because I saw they sold out everywhere, pretty quick. So, but I'm not a huge Candela guy. Like it's not my thing.
Alex, do we have any more car bombs left? We sold a bunch of them right away.
Yeah, I think so. We should have about we sold like 15 or so of the packs in
1 day,
like 12 hours. Yeah, but now we just got 10 more packs.
But we haven't posted that we got them.
Yeah, that's true.
So we maybe should do a post with that.
Yeah, we have at least 5 left because I don't think we opened that second new bundle yet.
Market them when McGregor has another fight.
McGregor, look at the Irish. All right.
Have any of you tried the Memento Mori by Black Label?
No. I'd love to get my hands on one, but
Yeah, it's a good cigar. I could do my fun fact of the day.
That's what I was going to you for. Let's hear it. Let's hear your fucked up fact.
Talking about the Memento Mori, does anybody know what that is outside of a cigar?
No.
I don't.
So basically, Memento Mori is Latin for remember death or remember you will die. So basically what it is that it's something that you would keep around you, give it a piece of jewelry with like a coffin motif or a skull or something like that, or it's popular with paintings back in like the 16th century. And basically it was, you kept something around to remind you that you will die. The reason I bring it up is that I think that society as a whole kind of thinks that they have a invincibility aspect to them as a whole, not saying everybody. I just think it's a cool fact that nobody really realizes that people used to do that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that wasn't too morbid.
Good job, Tron.
Huh?
Good job,
man. That was a good fact.
Good on you.
Actually, just to extend that a little bit deeper, like so.
Tell
us
about your first homicide.
So it was back in 2016.
I picked up this hooker. She was hitchhiking. All right, I'm sorry. Go on.
So, kind of as like a memento mori type of thing, what people actually used to do when photography actually kind of came about was that they would take post-mortem pictures with their recently deceased family members. And you could usually tell who's living and who's dead because of the long exposure. that you had to do to take the actual photo. So somebody that was living would actually look a little blurry, and the person that would be deceased is actually clear as day in the photo.
That's not weird.
It's not really.
I'm just kidding.
Bring it back. So that's it.
Nice.
Man, I've been working a
Well,
lot.
gents, I'm gonna have to bow out early. I've got to attend to something with work. I got to make a couple phone calls for an emergency. So thank you for having me, guys, and I appreciate it, and look forward to the next one.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks for being on.
Later,
good.
guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Later.
All right. Now we finally
What
got
else you
him
got
off.
there, Dom?
What'd you say, Chris?
I said, what else you got there?
Oh man. None of this is gonna be this is weird because it was like over a month ago. But I had like 2 back-to-back dreams. One that TLE wanted me to be on their show. And then that Foundation came out with Tyler, remember we were talking about the El Septimo, the really small nub ones?
Yeah.
That Foundation came out with the version. But it was like really chiseled like a trapezoid.
Well, you said this was a dream?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's random stuff I wrote down.
You had a dream that you were invited to the TLE experience, lounge
Yeah.
experience, and then you
Yeah.
had a dream that the Nick came out with just a tip cigar.
Oh, next time you guys try the Chartero Cabano, smell the smoke coming off the
That's
foot.
a good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I was,
But to
I was
me,
really impressed with that little Corona.
I think I have the Toro. But it smells like a Hallmark store.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
Hallmark.
Me too.
Speaking
Full
of Hallmark,
moons.
what's your guys' favorite holiday?
Halloween.
I'm going to go with a weird one here, and it's not because of the holiday itself. It's just because of the timing. But Easter, because I love the spring, like this time of year, and Easter is always like the first like sort of thing, the like first holiday that occurs around that time.
St. Patrick's Day is up there for me. Big
Oh, I
fan.
should have sent you a car bomb then.
I don't like the bands look too cheap.
What the fuck?
I like it to look good. That's what I'm saying. You need to put a band on yours. It's the experience.
My favorite holiday is Christmas, I think. I just love fucking Christmas, even though I work every Christmas because I can't pass up the money, but I feel like I should take off a one Christmas and it's cool because the last 2 like Christmas weeks I've been in Austin, and so that was a lot of fun. Me and Skip would drive around downtown and show me around and just looking at the lights and shit. And like I've said this before, but growing up, I had kind of like a weird childhood, and we were pretty poor, especially when my dad was in the Army. So like we would do a lot of like just looking at go to downtown Milwaukee and just look at the lights and shit. So I got good memories of that. And then my birthday is in September, end of September. So I've always liked fall. So like I'm not a big like horror guy, but I feel like Halloween and that kind of that like pumpkin patches and shit like that. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Like there's a place called Apple Howler. I don't know if Sean, you probably been there. It's on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois, and it's a really cool. I mean, it's outrageous. You're spending $40 on a fucking pumpkin and $20 on a candy apple, but it's a fun thing to do, once a year. Go to a pumpkin patch.
You mean $20 to get? You mean $20 to get one of your fillings in your teeth ripped out?
Yeah,
And then have to go to the emergency dentist in the middle of the night?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I know where this one pumpkin patch up in Hartford. You could get one of the big like 15 to 20 pounders for like $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow
Tron.
a pumpkin.
Tron would drill a couple holes in there and use it as a fleshlight.
So that's not the point.
Now, Tron, do you leave the seeds in there, or do you put something else in there, like some kind of like jelly, or what would you use?
KY jelly, fire and ice.
Fire and ice. Oh god. Icy hot. Oh man, this is yeah, off the rails.
New all-time low.
I'm gonna hopefully be visiting Small Batch headquarters, Maximar, in 2 weeks.
Nice.
That'll be my spring break.
Thanks for the invite.
Visit my brother down there. Well, you're gonna probably be in Denver again for 2 months.
If Tron's ready to start working, he's ready. He already knows how to restock the cooler.
I got
Can I bring up?
get past this bartender's license thing,
I haven't
dude.
taken it yet, Tron, ever. I did it at Havana, but I haven't done it at Lake Country. And I've been there like a year and 8 months or some shit. Almost 2 years now. Fuck.
Well, I think I got like 45 minutes left of it.
I wonder if he got like busted or something, because I never did it once.
Man,
And another thing too, like with the register, at night you're not ringing up a ton of shit. So I think you'd be able to, if you come in Friday night, I'll be there Friday night. I can show you the register, and if I leave for 2 months, I think you're ready to take on for at least Friday nights, and then hopefully Alex can do Thursdays, so I can go to. I don't know if I'm going to Denver yet. I mean, 2 months is a long fucking time.
Hey, what was that cigar? That little cigar with the band that took up like 95% of the actual cigar?
You talk about the El what's it called, Dom?
El Septimo.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No,
The
because
one
those
with,
have
like, the
like little
7?
tags.
The one with like the 7 on the band?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was like $17. Have you seen those, Chris?
I've seen them, but I haven't looked into them much.
Yeah, it's $17 for basically the torpedo of a cigar.
just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Excessive. Yeah.
It's just a warhead.
I do actually want to try one of those.
But $20, $17. It's a lot of fucking money for a 20 minutes.
You need a nub tool. It's required. Or put in a pipe.
All right,
What,
Chris.
what country are they from?
Costa Rica. That's where they're
Oh,
all.
is there, yeah. That's probably the same factory as like Atabay, Byron, Bandolero.
Also,
A lot of expensive stuff.
Bombay.
Yeah,
uses
yep,
that factory.
a lot of expensive cigars coming from there. But it's a good
Um,
factory. I mean, they make good
Yeah.
I think it's California Aficionado on Instagram. He smokes a lot of that El Septimo or whatever, from what I've noticed. And Dom, it's not you.
Speaking of, Dom was making fun of me for all the posts I do on Facebook. One guy sent me a message. He's from Phoenix. He moved to Milwaukee. He's like, "Man, you must really love social media." I'm like, "Dude, when you're working 18 hours a day and you're just waiting for shit, waiting to work, you're just random shit pops in your head and you just post it, and that's the thing. It's like, my thing is, you don't have to be friends with me on Facebook. You can delete me anytime. I usually, if you're smoking a cigar, I'll accept a friend
Okay,
request.
Karen.
What are you talking about? No, I'm not being a Karen. I'm just saying.
Quit being a Karen.
If you don't like my views, you can unfollow me. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If you
But hey,
that's like Skip. I mean, Skip has said many times on many of his posts, like, if you don't, this is my personal page. If you don't like it, there's the door.
yeah, don't let the door.
Well, now you made
This
it
isn't
look
the
like I called
airport. You don't have to
Skip a
announce your.
Karen.
No.
Right.
Not my intention.
Yeah, well, whatever you say about me also reflects on Skip, Dom. So.
don't be an ass.
Yeah.
Hey, we're still gonna not bunk together, room together. WhistleFest, you're gonna
Yeah, I'm a
bunk with
cheap.
Skip.
Unless I have a house, I don't.
by May.
Oh no, I'm not gonna have a house.
You don't
by
want
May.
to. Yeah, you don't want to hold on to
I
that
forgot.
one.
I forgot. We'll probably get a hotel room. Yeah. I don't. No, because there's gonna be. Here's the thing. Like, the reason I get to, I'm able to stay there sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes is because I'm the only fucker in Austin. But like when Cigar Hustler was in town, I got the boot, and Hustler he gets the room, So all these people in town, there's no way I'm going to be able to secure. So we'll get our own
Or
room.
either that or go in with like Rudy and a bunch of other guys Airbnb.
Yeah, Chris, are you down for that? An Airbnb?
Crib.
Possibly if I can go. Like I said, so my situation at work is my Bluetooth thing cut out. I don't know if I sound different. Sorry.
You sound fine.
Yeah, I'm basically waiting to see. So there was normally 5 guys in our department. Well, 2 of them retired right when the pandemic started, like a year ago, and they're not hiring any replacements yet because of just financial issues. So
yeah,
I'm the lowest of the 3 guys in seniority in the union. So if one of the other 2 guys, basically what it depends on is if there's a show scheduled that weekend. So if both of those guys agree to cover those days and it doesn't incur any overtime to the company, then then I'll be let off the leash. But if that doesn't happen, then they're going to move me to cover those days, and I won't get approved for days off, basically. So just waiting to see.
Have you been getting any?
We don't know.
Have you been getting any overtime?
I haven't worked a minute of overtime in over a year at this point.
Oh
so.
Man.
I tell everybody, I'm like, there goes my cigar budget.
Well, luckily you have enough cigars to last you 80 years.
True.
Dude, that's how I was until like 2 weeks ago, man.
Yep.
Just had messed up stuff happen at work. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Weasel Fest should be a good time. I think it's going to happen. I mean, here's the thing. With the vaccine out, and I'm seeing people are starting to fucking fly again. I think we're finally fucking past this, man. Almost past this, man. And I just can't wait for stuff to get back, because if this would have been regular, when I put my transfer in for Austin, I would have been there in 2 weeks. Not, like I put it in January 1st. Like I put it in December, and then you have to put it in again at the start of the new year. I would have been in there before spring break, So hopefully when summer happens, because here's the thing with Austin. Austin it's one of those cities that all the California people are flocking to. So it's going to be, they're going to need people. People are going to start flying again. And Austin is a big city for us, one of the original probably 5 stations we opened. But Austin, I think a lot of people, it's expensive. So I could see some people, because we opened up Colorado Springs. 2 people went from Austin to Colorado Springs. We opened up Sarasota. 1 person from Austin went to Sarasota. So it's 3 openings. So hopefully, July, I might be able to get down there. So that's kind of another reason why I'm kind of hesitant of going to Denver for 2 months is like to come back basically the beginning of June. And then who knows, what if they call me? It's like, it's just going to be quick. But the good thing is having a house here, I can leave most of my shit here and slowly move it, because it's a big house. And I'm going to find somebody to take, I think I have a family member or somebody at work might take up one of my living space or whatever. And with my mortgage, it's you won't be able to find a nice place for the same cost as my mortgage. So I should have no problem covering my mortgage, and then I'll just build equity on it and then get my place in Austin, which is going to be outrageous. But I could see Austin being being down there for at least 5 years. And the thing too, if I don't like Austin, I can easily transfer back to Milwaukee. Cause I actually like working in Milwaukee. I like the station. I don't like the winter anymore. Ever since I lost weight, it's way too fucking cold. So,
well, gentlemen, I have to kick it.
All right, Tron. Thank you.
Yep,
good talking to you.
See you, Tron.
I'll see you Friday.
See it.
Rock and roll, man.
For sure.
Yeah. So Chris, we haven't done a podcast in like 3 weeks, just because anytime.
Yeah, I noticed. I kept checking them. Like I don't see any new episodes. I need stuff to listen to while I'm changing light bulbs.
Yeah, it's tough too because I don't know what my schedule is until noon the day before. So sometimes I'd be available, and then Dom, I work nights, so it's like it was just hard to schedule something. And then the time I did have, Dom was playing tummy sticks with a neighbor kid or something. So he was always busy when we needed to do something. So.
Wait, what's tummy sticks?
Look it up.
Oh, Tyler, it's so funny you mentioned that because I hadn't heard anyone say that or said it myself in like 10 years. And then just the other day, it popped into my head, and I was texting with a bunch of buddies from high school, and I mentioned tummy sticks and got some funny reactions. But
Yeah, it's
what the heck, dude? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have been a good word of the day for
Word
your
of the day,
word
tummy
day.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to use it. In
what movie was it from? Was that Wedding Crashers?
Dude, that movie is great. That movie.
That's what it was from, right?
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
That's
I wish they made
hilarious.
comedies like that anymore. With the PC culture, you can't make a comedy like that anymore.
You could. I mean, you'd have some people, upset about it, but I think I think they're only concerned when it's like someone who doesn't do that stuff for a living, like an actor or a TV personality, whatever, says something. Like if a politician says that they want to like destroy them, but if Vince Vaughn said it, they'd be like, "Oh, that's hilarious," A little bit of a double standard.
Have you guys watched WandaVision or the new Marvel they came out with, or the new Justice League Snyder cut? Have you guys watched any of that?
No.
I saw like part of the first 2 episodes of WandaVision, and I just wasn't into it.
Once you get past those first 2 episodes, it gets better.
That's what I heard, but I don't have time to just sit through things I'm not going to enjoy.
Yeah, I only sat through it because I got a huge crush on Elizabeth Olsen, so that's the only reason why I watched it. Nice. And she's got some nice outfits in there. But it was funny because I'll say this at work. It's like, dude, I got fucking nothing going on, and it's because it's all I do is I just fucking work and go home. And even like TV, there's nothing good on TV anymore, man. In sports, I'm not.
No, they haven't been able to make anything because of the pandemic. Like they just canceled all production on just about everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat next month.
Yeah, that looks kind of good.
Even
Tyler,
Wonder Woman sucked.
You're the only person I know who's super busy because you work all the time, but you're bored at work because there's so much downtime.
Well, here's the thing. In Milwaukee, I don't get bored because we have a good group of guys and guys and girls, and we kind of sit around and we literally just make fun of each other all day. Like today, I had my I usually what I do with my hair because I don't know if Chris you can see this at all, but usually with my hair,
I'm calling on phone.
Yeah, usually with my hair, I'll slick it back and put a hat on and then my hoodie over it, so you can't see how long my hair is. But it's nicer out, so I had my hair down or whatever, and I was working a gate with three women, and so it was 3 women and me, and some guy was like, oh, look at that gate, it's all women working there, and then another person said, oh, who's the new girl? She's pretty beefy. It was fucking hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. It's because my hair is pretty fucking long, and then I had. Like right now, it's kind of like parted down the center, but I had like the shag over, and someone said, "Hey, 2020 called. They want their bangs back," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Nice.
But
did you hear like a random voice from out in the crowd of people waiting for their flight? That's a huge bitch.
It's a big bitch. No, not yet. But I am wearing some fun socks. They're Sonic the Hedgehog socks, and I've got a couple compliments about my socks. Which is cool.
We got to get into that sock war with V-Cut.
Oh no, I'm not.
Richie and G Fizzle.
Well, I bought some Vans, and then everybody at work was talking about me wearing Vans and white socks. So I'm like, let me dig out some of my more colorful socks here, and so what the fuck was I gonna say? Something about huge bitch. All right. So, is there anything new coming out that we're looking forward to? Anybody?
Sereno has something coming out. The Rose on it. Chogui might be back.
Yeah, I saw Victor's post on Instagram. I think a couple weeks ago. I'm like, that's foreboding. Like.
Yeah. Well, he's done a few posts now.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't really nothing too crazy on the radar. I'm looking forward to, like I look through Skip's, the
production.
the Half Wheel article that was all the information from Skip about all their releases for this year, and lots of good stuff on there to look forward to. And I know Pete has a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe. Cool little projects and stuff. So,
Yeah, the Monster Mash, I think, is coming out. Trade show.
Yep.
That Crown Heads, was that a TAA? That they kind of
the one
first run with?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year.
I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, it's like the Fallen Angel or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year, and then they just pushed it back. But I heard then there was something, I think, on Half Wheel that said that they completely revamped the entire, like redid the blend and everything from scratch. So I guess whatever cigar was supposed to come out last year, they, after sitting for a year, they were like, oh, these suck. Start over. Like what? Like how did that happen? Like it's kind of weird.
Dom, have you tried that Crown Heads I sent you? The
Not yet, no.
Sanctuary, was that?
I don't know the name of it. I was going to try to save it for an analogy, but I haven't done one in a while.
I know you were excited. You had mentioned it, and then I kind of surprised it because that was something you were into, and I kind of surprised it when I was down in Austin. I picked one up for you.
Yeah, it's on my radar.
Oh yeah, you
Did
have
you see that there's some sort of an anniversary cigar for JR Cigars from Crown Heads?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, Sister
like a
Church.
Churchill. There wasn't much in the media. Yeah, Mother Church. Yeah, I didn't see anything in the media, but it was. It's made at that Pichardo factory, so
it should be good then. Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
That's actually where I got the idea for the song I opened with today, Tyler.
Oh my God.
Because Mother Church, Sister Christian.
That's a stretch.
Come on, it's there.
Sounds similar.
Yeah. Chris, do you know that song by, was it Night Ranger? Sister Christian.
Yeah, everybody knows that song.
You were acting like you've never heard it before.
I couldn't think
of
the name.
If you've seen Boogie Nights, you know that song.
I have a Boogie Nights poster up my stairs going into my lair upstairs. I love Boogie Nights. What a fucking tragic fucking film. Have you seen that, Dom?
Oh, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I can't believe you watched that, Dom.
Awesome.
It is a great movie. Oh my God.
William
H. Macy's character, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, it's just awesome. So many good scenes in that, like, just priceless.
Yeah, some motherfucker said it was too long, and I said, you have no taste in movies. Only thing bad about Boogie Nights is because he made that movie, his next movie he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, and he came out with Magnolia, and that movie sucked.
I didn't think it sucked. I mean, I thought it was a little artsy, a little contemporary, but nothing close to Boogie Nights. Like, I mean, Boogie Nights was just, the character development is just amazing in that, like seeing the whole thing and how their lives just basically fall apart,
Yeah.
Just very realistic. And like you said, tragic. Like, but
after seeing that, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not going into porn after I watch that movie.
That's
I would have been the Ron Jeremy of
that's my typical response to women when they're like, dude, you should be in porn. And I'm like, have you ever seen Boogie Nights? Like, well, why would I do that to myself?
It's not all teddy bears and flower. I don't know what the fuck the saying is.
okay. Kind of off that note, why, like, looking through #cigar on Instagram, why is like smoking fetish with cigarettes a thing? I don't understand the draw.
With cigarettes?
Yeah, and they #cigar. It's like, I don't.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know. It's funny. There is a market for like I know Chris probably McClellan, that guy who used to own McClellan. He was a big time cigarette smoker, and he would smoke like cigarettes from like the 1970s and the 80s. He would go out and spend crazy money.
I can't remember his name.
McNeil.
It was
McNeil.
Mike McNeil. Yep.
Mike McNeil. He is a fucking riot.
Yeah.
But I respect the hell out of him. I've met him at the St. Louis Pipe Show and the Chicago Pipe Show. I respect the hell out of him because he couldn't get that tobacco anymore. So he's like, we're just going to shut down. And that's when Cornell and Deal came out, and then they had all that mold problem with all their blends were molding in the tin. It's like, age this tin for 10 years. but there's a
Right.
chance it's
And
going to be
you
all
open it
fucking
up and-
molded.
Right. Tragic, but yeah, I that's one of those things that I remember. Like I remember McClellan's just from 20 years ago when I worked at a smoke shop, and it was just always iconic. Like, and not just the artwork and the look of the tins, through the years, but like the just the aroma of the tobacco, like smoked, unsmoked, like everything about it was so original and authentic. Just really sad to see that company like that go away. But
Yeah, the topping.
I'm sure he made money.
Yeah, the topping they used was like it smelled like ketchup.
Yeah. Because vinegar is a preservative, so
Yeah.
if people would say, "Oh, it smells like vinegar," I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Like that's what they're using to preserve the tobacco. That was always, a traditional method of preservation. But
And
I'm sure if Mukau Rich was on, he could confirm which book.
Yeah, which book?
Has that information in it.
I like the Christmas cheer was always a fucking hit. The Frog Morton, and then some of the stuff they did with cigar leaves in there. And then like the old Cornell and Deal stuff was pretty like what's the morbid. Some of the artwork I liked it, and then they switched it all like 5 o'clock shadow. If you ever look at that old tin art, like it's like depressing. And the guy's at his office and the clock, it's just everything about it was just like, and then, there's not, I don't think there's any good pipe tobacco out there really. I mean, Cornell and Deal, some of the Warp stuff, I haven't had any of the Warp stuff, but Sutliff doesn't blow me away. I forgot who was making Peterson, but I think Sutliff.
Well, Peterson, when they acquired the Dunhill brands,
that's what I meant.
I can't remember where and when I read it. I mean, it was a couple of years ago when that all went down, but they did say that the factory and the process and stuff wasn't changing. And then I haven't smoked any since, but I've seen a lot of people say that they can't tell the difference. Of course, there's going to be some that say, "Oh, it's totally different," but when you see enough people say that it's the same, then leads you to believe that's the case.
Yeah, because I sent Nick some old Dunhill nightcap and early morning pipe, and he's smoking the new stuff too. So if he thinks everything's the same, then I trust Nick's palate. Probably he probably has one of the better palates out there.
Did he tease something coming up? Looked like a Corona Extra or something.
Yeah, he teased something. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You remember? Did you either of you guys see his post it was like maybe a month and a half ago about the cigar that he did for that? I want to say it's called the Owl Ear Shop or Owl something like that.
Yeah, I just had one of the original releases 2 days ago. Yeah.
So I was perusing through Half Wheel or something and stumbled upon the article talking about those when they released when he first did them a couple of years ago, like a week before he posted that. And I even went to their website and was like, I wonder if they still have any of those. And I didn't see anything on their website. So I'm like, I'd be interested in getting some of those, and I should probably call them, but I don't have time now. I got to get to work. And then I just totally forgot about it. And like a few days later, he posted that. And so one of the regular guys you see on Facebook was like, "Oh, I just called them. They just sold the last box." And I was like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, I think
I should have followed my instinct and called them.
I think it's based on the Tabernacle, and then the Paul Bunyan, which Nick sent me a couple of those. That's based on the Havana seed, I believe. Tabernacle he did for
cool.
Eminem's manager or whatever.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta be back to work at 5 a.m. Another 12-hour day. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but we got one in the books.
Nice.
Chris, we gotta have you on again for us. The Circle Herf.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm always down for those.
Nerd out, yeah. We just playing a little bit of catch up tonight. Just
yeah.
Anything else, Dom? You want to hit before we take off?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Always
thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for sending me the text about why my palate was fucked up in Denver. I think that's interesting.
we need to talk to like a true expert at some point, like whether it's, I'm not, not even saying like on the podcast, just like find somebody who can explain the science behind this and like, document it and then spread it around the entire cigar community.
That's you, man. I'm tasking you with that. That's your homework.
I know some doctors and stuff, but I don't know any like, physiologists or whoever would be, an expert with that stuff. But we'll keep an eye peeled for it. So.
Yeah.
If we find somebody, I'm asking about that spinach and cheese. It's a thing.
I remember Mo from Patina had a chimichurri down in Nicaragua, and it ruined his palate the rest of the day. He's like, I just wasted a whole fucking day here because I had that fucking chimichurri at lunch. He was so pissed.
Oh, it's so good, though.
And then Mo was like, dude, you're smoking too much. I need you to have a fresh palate. I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't stop smoking. It's an addiction. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks.
We'll be back next week. I think we have you got to email I don't know if I'm going to Denver yet. We got to get Casey and Tony on from Crux. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank
Cool.
you.
Rock
Cool.
and roll.
Yep.
God bless.
So long, boys. Talk to you.
Yeah.